Hello, and welcome to the Ability 411. This is Tuesdays with me, Erika. Um, this subject this week is the D word, dating. And I say that with a capital D. I kind of want to fast forward a little bit and just start this off with this quote, and I'm sure you've probably heard it before. But I think that it's very, very true, and especially when talking about this subject for somebody with a disability. If they can't accept you at your worst, they definitely don't deserve your best. Now we're going to rewind a little bit. I have had lots of dating experiences, so called. I have been in relationships since I've been injured. Obviously, I was in relationships before I was injured. I think the biggest thing for me when it came to dating after my injury or after I became disabled was I kind of felt like I had a strike against me. And it had nothing to do with the people that were in my life or potential partners or people that I wanted to date or possibly wanted to date me. It more came from myself. My self-esteem was beat up just a little bit. I've spoke about before when my injury happened, I felt as if, my whole life, it really had. It had started over. And I didn't necessarily know where to start, and especially with dating, because of my self-esteem. I actually, up until here recently, I realized that I'd never really been on an actual date where the guy came and picked me up and, he got kind of dressed up and went to a nice dinner and he paid for it. So yeah, I kind of come, I guess, at a different perspective of this. But not only did I feel like I already had one strike against me because of my chair, but I also was a single mom. So I feel like I started the game off with two strikes. Who would want to date somebody with, three children from previous relationships? And then on top of that, somebody that was in a chair. Especially when there's millions and millions of other fish in the sea who are normal as I was viewing it at the time. And this is initially after my injury. But as time has gone on, I have been proved wrong over and over and over again. I've had many people who have wanted to date me. I have had, many people who have said to me what I didn't believe necessarily, and that is, Erika, you're still the same person that you were before you were injured. Sorry, I can't speak tonight. I am the same person. Actually, I'm a little bit of a better person. This whole experience has definitely bettered me in many ways and has been a growing and learning experience and continues to be every day in all aspects of my life. But I have been very, very blessed to share periods of time in my life since my injury with some really amazing people. And I'm actually still really good friends with the majority of my exes. Now, I say majority, so not all, but the majority of my exes, we do have a strong bond because I think our relationship was on another level from the beginning because of my disability. And 9 times out of 10, that turned to be in my favor. People realize that these people that I dated anyway realized that there's so much more to me than my chair. And I'm very blessed for that. Very, very blessed. Now, obviously, I have not chosen the right people because although I am seeing somebody currently, I'm still single. I'm still not married. Who's to say this guy could be the one? But then again, he could be not the one. Who knows? But I believe in love, and I believe that, dating is the first stepping stones to finding that forever love. And I know this is a really bad analogy, but I say this quite often because there's a 90% of me that believes this. But, dating, just like a lot of other aspects of life, it is a learning experience, and it's kind of like shopping for shoes. You got to try on different pairs, and sometimes you get them home and you wear them a while and you decide you don't like them, you put them in the closet and never wear them again. And some, one day you're going to find that perfect pair of shoes with the perfect fit and wear them forever. So again, I know some people might think that's a really bad analogy, but there is some truth to it. There is. I personally wouldn't go towards online dating. I know for some people, possibly it's kind of more comfortable for them. For me, it's not so much. Those of you that are watching the video and that are disabled, I am going to say a word that most of us cringe about, and that is devotees. For those of you who are watching this, and whether you're disabled or not, if you don't know what a devotee is, it is somebody who actually kind of has a sexual fetish about women in chairs. And although I have met quite a few devotees that were very, very, very nice gentlemen, totally harmless, they just so happen to find girls in chairs more attractive. There is a flip side, and some of them are a bit creepy, kind of stalker status. So for me, dating online or looking for somebody to date online isn't really a thought in my mind, nor is it something that I personally would do for myself. And that's just because you do have to be so careful nowadays on the internet. And I'm sure that this is something that, everybody is well aware of. The internet now has, been around for quite some time. So, just be smart. But I guess, my point to this whole video is, the only thing that can hold you back from reaching your dreams or your goals in life, and for some of us, our dream or our goal is to settle down and be married and find that life partner. Just like with any goal or dream, don't give up on it. Don't give up on love. And, sometimes I know for me personally, I can be my own worst enemy. I really can. And, when you want something so bad, you kind of sometimes, I guess, tend to force situations and make them happen instead of kind of putting it into destiny's hands and just saying, you know what, if whatever is meant to be will be. That's a very easy statement to say, but I know for myself, and I'm sure probably many others, it's kind of hard to take that advice and just sit around and wait. For me to be settled down, there is some importance in that for me, especially now that I'm in my 30s. I'm 31. I'm going to be 32 this year. So I think I'm coming to a point in my life where I'm like, wow, I have 3 children. For those of you that don't know, I've never been married. I have absolutely no regrets. Definitely not about my children, but even about the people that I've dated, because I've taken something from each relationship, even though they ended. And like I said previously, I'm still very close to the majority of people that I've dated. But again, it is getting that time in my life, that period in my life where, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that forever love. I'm ready to settle down. And do I think that my disability gets in the way of that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do I feel that sometimes I get in the way of that? Most definitely. In more ways than one. Sometimes I have some really bad judgment. And again, that goes back to, I guess my self-esteem. Now my self-esteem is, I'm a lot more confident in myself than I was, especially initially after I was injured, and started dealing with disability. But, all of us, I think, let's be truthful, all of us have, insecurities, no matter how big or small they are. We all have insecurities about ourselves. Like I said, some people's are bigger than others. And with mine, I think because I want to find love so bad, and that forever love so bad, that it makes me more insecure. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. I think it does. I've loved, and I've lost, and I've been hurt, and nobody wants to feel that more than once in their life. And whether or not I just chose the wrong people or I was my own enemy, it's really kind of hindsight now. It doesn't really matter. But those are things that I think about. And yeah, so this is kind of a really personal subject for me. There is, say, about 95% of me that there are days where I'm like, you know what? I'm totally okay with being by myself. And, I've got my kids, I've got my home, I've got my family and my friends, some of whom are closer to me than some of my family is. And I feel, tremendous joy in my life, and I feel fulfilled. But there's that other 5% of me that is like, would I like to find love? Of course I would. Who wouldn't? I'd love to be able to have somebody wake up next to the same person every day, and know that there's that one person in my life that no matter what, no matter how bad things get, they're going to be right there holding my hand every step of the way, and vice versa. And I know that I'm capable of giving that. And I also know that I'm capable of finding that. So, yeah, as far as my disability, in dating, I really think that if anything, like I said, it's just like in other aspects of my life, it has gotten better as far as my viewpoint and my goals, and figuring out myself and learning myself and what I want in life and in another person, in a life partner. So yeah, going back to what I said in the very beginning, if they can't accept you at your worst, they definitely don't deserve you at your best. So whatever insecurities you may be facing, or, maybe you have the love of your life. Congratulations. And that's wonderful, But for those of you that don't and are in the same boat as me, or, yeah, keep your head up, because it's out there. And, don't allow yourself to think that you're any less of a person than you are. Each of us brings so much to the table. Our personalities, our passions. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's been one of a hard lesson for me to learn. Again, getting really personal, that, I do have a lot to bring to the table for somebody. And even if I end up by myself, that's okay, because instead I'm happy with that. But then again, when that Prince Charming, if and when Prince Charming ever does find me, he may have possibly found me already. Yeah, you've got a really good thing. And that's easy for me to say. Again, that confidence. I know I'm a good person, and I know you're a good person too. If you guys have any questions, comments, I know that this topic, can be, there's so many different areas of this topic that can be discussed. It can be made personal, it can be general. So yeah, email us. It could possibly continue on into another segment next week. Email us individually. It's theability411@gmail.com. And until next Tuesday, keep rolling.